Never really had a business model that I could see that was going to help me provide for my family, be able to buy a house and, tick enough boxes, but didn't absorb so much time and energy that I could still do my art. My name is Brett Cusack. I run a online music program called Next Level Rock Guitar. And before I joined Where You, was kind of struggling with getting anyone into my online my online lessons. And so yeah, I guess I've probably always kind of struggled business wise. So I kind of needed some help last year. I've always run in person lessons, and I was running this online program that I got 3 of my in person lessons to come online, and I knew that it was cool, but I basically was running that for about 6 months with just these 3 students in it, and it just wasn't viable. And so I kind of tried a bunch of different marketing strategies, Facebook ads, trying to get more people from my in-person lessons on board, and it just stayed at these 3 people. So yeah, I was stuck, frustrated. I'm like, this is never going to work. I knew it was a cool business model, but I'd never seen anything like it. So I didn't have any evidence that it could work. So I was pretty frustrated.
Ah, I see. I was going to say, I didn't realize it was online.
Yeah. So for me, I kind of looked like adults always just had this, like, adults learning guitar is kind of like 6 months in, they get really excited and then they just go disappear, disappear. And I was like, why?
Yes.
And so I kind of realized that they need more touch points. They need more support, a community of people that they're learning with, so they kind of have a bit of accountability to the group as well.
Mm.
So I love it. It's so cool now, and we've got about 30 members, but we'll talk about that when we get
Oh, that's so
closer.
good. Yeah, cool. Um, if you had any, what hesitations did you have before buying, and what was it that got you over the line in the end?
Didn't really have any hesitations, really. I kind of had been following along for long enough to know that I had a problem, and there's a potential that Brandon could help me solve it. I'd done some like advertising for in-person lessons, so I kind of had some success with that. But this was a whole another way of engaging people that were not in my area and online and stuff like that. So yeah, I didn't really have any hesitations, but I'd been following him for probably 6 months, maybe longer, and just well, I don't think I was even following. I think I was just getting the ads, and so I had built up this kind of like this. Obviously, he's promoting it because it works.
Yes.
So yeah, I didn't really have any reserves. I basically got on the sales call with, I can't remember who it was now. That was back in April last year,
Mm. Probably,
and
probably
presented
Tim.
what it was, and I'm like, that's awesome. That's pretty much what I'm doing with my online guitar lessons. It's support and ongoing support, and I'm like, I kind of
Mm.
need that because we're about to have a baby.
Oh, yay.
And so yeah, everything happened last year.
So in the time that you've been in the program, because you joined in April last year.
Yeah.
What's changed for you? What results have you got so far?
Yeah, so I think Brandon reached out to me for a testimonial because I was posting heaps of wins, getting new clients, but I was still I was kind of making the same amount of money that I was spending on ads. So I kind of wasn't.
Mm.
I don't think I was a great testimonial because I wasn't super pumped that I'd like invested all this money and now I'm making more. So since then, I've invested about 20K in Facebook ads, and now I've profited about 20K from that.
Mm.
So I'm definitely profiting now. And like at the start, it was kind of like spending a grand, getting a grand, spending a grand, getting a grand. And I knew
Mm.
long term that would eventually grow, but I was like, eh. So yeah, so those roads, I'm basically putting $1 in and getting $2 out now, with a bunch of different offers for the same thing, monthly, ongoing, and to blah, 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 a 6 months up front, and then I've basically built a whole nother bunch of like offers above that, 3 grand, and I've got a 4 grand one now. So a couple of people bought the 3 grand one, so I'm basically making
Mm.
more money up front, which is heaps cool.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, it's funny how sometimes like raising your prices actually gets like more people to buy
Yes, that's been a fascinating journey. But I'm like,
like the
some people,
perceived.
yeah, some of my competitors have a similar service, and I was like, why can't I charge the same money? So that was just a personal journey as well, just to charge more money and see what happens. But yeah, I've got an unlimited offer at the moment, which when someone paid 3 grand for it, I was like, that's way too cheap. So now I'm delivering that, which is totally fine, because that's what I sold, and then I made the offer below that 3 grand, and then someone bought that. So I was like, okay, cool,
Mm.
we can make that more expensive. So that's just been cool to know that when I don't have, like, obviously there's lots of people that don't sign up. I kind of know that there's always going to be people coming in based on the history of what I've been doing over the last 12 months. So, well,
Mm.
9 months.
So based on that, have you had any sort of like What effect did it have on you personally, professionally, anything like that?
Yeah, I guess I now like I've been running online. Or I've been running guitar lessons since 2012. My dream is to be a rock star, and I'm still working on that. Been working on that since I was 18. I'm 41 now. Still working on that, but I've never really had a business model that I could see that was going to help me provide for my family, be able to buy a house, and tick enough boxes, but didn't absorb so much time and energy that I could still do my art. So that's been a huge thing for this now business model that I've got now. There's not as much contact time with my students, but I see them more often because it's a big group kind of thing. And to
Mm,
see them all interacting, I'm so much more jazzed about business and my whole life in general. So this has kind of been one piece of the puzzle that's actually been really helpful to kind of go, oh, I've actually got a business system now, and just now I'm trying to refine it to get more money in up front, and obviously deliver the service and make it even better on the back end. So that's been
that's
really cool.
awesome. Yeah, well, you're also getting some groupies together, I suppose, when you do take off.
Yeah, that's it. I actually did a like gig in October last year, and like a bunch of the students came down. I was like, "This is cool."
Oh, that is really cool. So obviously you've been in the program for a while, but basically like keen to know what you valued learning the most and what you appreciated most about the workshop, program, the support, even if it's like what you loved initially, what you found most valuable, and then what you still maybe find valuable at this point.
Yeah, the workshop was really cool. Like just to get 2 days, I kind of had most things sorted before I even did the workshop, so that was kind of cool. I kind of had all those pieces of the puzzle in place, but it was cool just to revisit them and refresh with the kind of new offering that I had. And then yeah, that red grain, red grain, red brain, green brain thing.
I do that all the time.
Red grain, green brain, yeah, whatever. So that was kind of an interesting thing to have that like emotional hook, and I've had heaps of fun playing with that. The one that's working the best at the moment is so you bought another guitar, but you still can't really play. So I think that's really
Mm,
ticking a few people's like, oh crap, this is not. He knows what I'm going
calling me
through.
out.
So that's been fun to play around with that. What else did I find valuable? The support calls were really cool too, because once you got everything kind of set up, just having a touch point every week where you could jump in and go, this is what's working and this is what not working, and to get support from lots of different ideas as well. Not only did I find that valuable, but when I was on those calls, even when I'm just working away, waiting for someone to, whoever was on, to get to me, you kind of listen to everybody else as well, and you kind of like absorbing a bunch of things by osmosis, and like, oh, that's actually helpful, and oh yeah, I've got that same problem. And then even sometimes there was opportunities to actually share my own experience and say, oh, this is what I tried, and so that is really cool too, to fit one to have learning with the group, which is the same benefits that I offer in my own program. I'm like, oh yeah, this is really helpful, and just making time to be there, even if you don't really have a problem. It's kind of just like, oh, I'll
Mm,
just check in and just see how things are going from a more advanced perspective. And there was a bunch of things that just like got solved so quickly that I didn't even know were problems. And I think I had some ads up before I joined, or I had an ad up before I'd come to the workshop, and then I had it set to not to lead generation, but to for clicks or something like that. And Brandon's
mm,
like, how did, like, I got one survey submission, and he's like, I don't know how you got one. Like, that's like a miracle. So just those
yeah.
little things too, where it's just like it's not working, but there's just one little thing that had to change, and then it started working. So
Yeah,
and playing
so
with some of the tech back end stuff as well to see,
mm.
oh, that's the problem, and having an expert there to kind of go, why don't we try this? So that's been cool.
Cool. Last one. So if anyone was unsure about booking a call or if they're on the fence, what would you say to them?
Just book the call, mate. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I look at things as like I have to test it out and see if it works. And so I had an inkling to test it out. I didn't sign up on the call. I said I'm just going to talk to my wife, but I was like, I'm going to sign up anyway. Um, and what would I say to somebody else? I don't know. It's worth if yeah, I'm a service based business, and that's kind of what they do, where you do, and yeah, if you're having trouble, like I was not having trouble was having trouble with my ads, but also having trouble with the business model and how to actually generate enough cash to actually spend more money on ads. So that, like, all of those things kind of helped me. Um, and so, yeah, I guess I also had last year a mindset coach and a physical body coach and gym trainers and a mindset coach. So I had all these people in my corner. So this was just one piece of the puzzle that I'm not good at. I like it, but I don't have anywhere near the expertise. So for anyone that's like thrashing around trying to figure out how to get more revenue in their business, like, I think definitely where you would be a good place to test. Um, and I think the format is cool too, to be able to have that ongoing support, because I think it's like if you do a weekend, you kind of learn all this stuff, but then you just either implement it, but then you need that ongoing support as well.